Hey guys, it's Jeff over at Hustle, and well, I'm back in the studio. It's been a while, and honestly, the Cronus brought me back. Newest gun from Tippmann is the Cronus. This is the tactical version. We'll be going over the basic version as well. And honestly, there's been a decent amount of buzz as far as, well, us in the office and people online and calling us up. What's up with the Cronus? What do I need to know? Is it good? Is it bad? What should I do with it? What can I expect? And well, we're gonna go over all of those things in this video, but very simply, it's a 98. And a lot of people are saying, oh, it's just another 98 body. Yes and no. There's a reason that Tippmann keeps using the 98. And its general, basic internals, and it's because they work. It's because they're this reliable and this consistent. If they didn't work, you wouldn't see 98s at every field. You wouldn't see 98s being used as rentals across the globe. You wouldn't see 98s and A5s and US Army guns every field you go to. There's a reason you see that many, and it's because they continue to work, and because Tippmann makes a good product and backs it up. So knowing that this has 98 internals in it makes me happy, because that means that you guys can trust it. When, your buddy goes out and buys this as his first gun because you told him to go buy a Tippmann, and he goes out and plays with it, it's gonna work. And he's gonna be happy, he's gonna have fun, which means he's gonna go out next weekend. And then the weekend after that. So, a lot of people bagging on this, saying, oh, it's just a 98, it's just a 98. Take that as a good thing. People might be bagging on it a little bit, but because it's basic, it's not new internals. There's a reason that they're still using this. It works, and it works all the time. It's simple, it's easy, it's light, it's comfortable. All the things you want out of a paintball gun, Tippmann put it in the Cronus. So knowing that makes it very easy for me to recommend it to new players who don't really know how to maintain a gun, don't know what to expect, don't know what they're getting themselves into. And starting out with a 98 makes it easier because you don't have to do much. You don't have to know how to disassemble this or get into that or change board settings and You don't have to do that. You can just grab your gun, grab your gear, go to the field, shoot your buddies all day, and have fun. So first things first, we're gonna go over the differences between the the tactical and the basic, and then we'll go from there. So we get a lot of people asking about, how should I run my Cronus? How should I run my setup? Do I run a remote? Do I run the stock? What's the best way to do it? And there is no best way. The best way is what suits you best. The good thing is that you have options, and the Cronus gives you that. So basic, you can run just like this. Tank on the gun, it's very comfortable. I can actually use my sights because my stock is way down here and out of my way. So it's very comfortable, nice shooting position. Honestly, this grip is really nice. It fits your hand really nice. You got molded finger grooves. You got little dimples and grooves and grips on it everywhere, but honestly, it just fits your hand nicely. So whether you're using a tank or not as your stock, it's gonna feel good. But for a basic, in general, tank, and you don't really need much of anything else. Now, a lot of people will say, well, I want to run a remote to get the weight of this tank off the gun. That's perfectly fine. You can do that. I will recommend that at that point you either get a stock or get the tactical, mainly because it's way out here. It's loosey-goosey. I don't have any sturdy point to mount it to my body. And I don't want to say mount, but with the tank here, I have a pivot point. I have something to brace against and hold it steady with. Now, it's just my arms that are floating out in front of me. Can I get good with it? Sure, but it'd be much nicer if I had something nice and sturdy to pull up into my body, make sure that I have a nice steady shot, a nice stable platform to shoot from. So, you say, well, I'll get the tactical with the stock, but I don't want to run a remote. This is why it's a bad idea. Tank and stock, you have all of this to deal with. It's just not comfortable. I mean, if I use the stock, or if I use the tank as my stock, the actual stock's in my mouth, basically. I'm leaning back away from it to try to shoot it. If I use the stock, okay, well now the tank's kind of under my elbow, it's sort of out of the way. It's not really comfortable. Well, it's adjustable stock, right? Let's move it out a little bit. Well, that's a little bit better, but I still have all of this. So, in the end, how do you run it? Well, I'd run a remote, mainly because this is just awful. So if you have a tactical and you want to run it, this is how I would do it. So obviously this would be on my back, but well, my back is completely out of the frame of the camera, so I have to hold it up for you guys. But make sure you get a harness that'll hold the tank. This is an SP41 in camo. I really like NXE, so that's mainly why I grabbed it, and it's like 23 bucks for a really good harness. So make sure you get a harness that'll hold the tank. Get a nice remote. This is the Ninja straight line with the micro bore, which is actually really light. And well, look, I can use this as, you know, like a paintball gun. Now, can I do this with a mask? No, because this is my face and I have to wear a mask over that. So, with a remote, it's not going to make your sights any more usable. They're still going to be, well, effectively useless, as sights are in paintball, because I just can't get behind the gun enough to actually use the sights. To see the sights and see you, I would have to put the gun way out here, which makes it useless. So, remember that just because you have a stock doesn't mean you're going to be able to use the sights. So if you really want to use your sights, you're going to want to remove the stock and actually run a tank on the gun. You're not going to want a remote. So if you do want to use the sights but still have the looks of the tactical, make sure that you go ahead and get tactical, take the stock off, make sure your tank is on. You can use it this way. Now my sights are completely useful and it still looks very tactical. So that is the way that I would run it. Like I said, tons of different configurations, tons of different options, so you get to choose how you play. You don't have to choose things the way that Tippmann sends it. You don't have to deal with it right out of the box. You can choose, do I run a remote? Do I run a stock? Do I do this? Do I do that? And again, options, simplicity. This is what the Cronus is giving you. So this is what gets me excited about it, because a lot of times entry-level guns before, it's this out of the box. Can I do anything to it? No. Can I change how it looks? Sort of. You can actually change things. You can change the gun to your specific playstyle. So again, more options that suit you, the player. So really the big reason why I like the Cronus. And it's light and comfortable and everything else. But just want to give a couple different configurations for you guys to run with, because we get so many questions. How should I run it? What's the best setup? There is no best setup. The best setup is what works for you guys. The fact that you have options means that you can try out 2 or 3 different things to actually see what's best for you. And you can do it with an inexpensive gun. You don't have to spend tons of money to get functionality out of your marker. So again, lots of different setups you can use on a Cronus, just a couple that I wanted to show you guys. Things that I think are going to be easier to use and, well, make it funner and easier to use on the field, which means you shoot your buddies more. Beautiful day here in Colorado, so we're going to put the Cronus through its efficiency test. You will notice we are using a standard 48 3K just because, well, it's the tank that you're normally going to pair with this gun. So doing a test with the 68 4500 just doesn't make sense for us. So we're going to do the 48 3000, give you guys accurate numbers for tanks that you would actually use on this gun. So I'm going to go ahead and chrono real quick and then we'll see where we're at. Safety first, guys. Even when you're messing around in your backyard, put something on your face. .267, 290, 267. So a little bit around, but let's see where we get. We're under 300, give or take. Our paint's a little iffy, so we'll see how far we get. One more chrono reading. 255, 253, 241. Yeah, you can definitely hear it. And 237. So we will call it there. We're obviously gonna have to count to see what's left in here. Already more than I thought we were gonna get by at least a pod. So we'll see what total numbers we are, and Chris will probably put them somewhere over here. Alrighty guys, so wrapping things up on the Cronus, I was excited about doing this video, and am still excited about doing this video, because it's a really solid entry-level gun. Again, it's not the big flashy $1,500 monster new Electro. It's not a full auto mag-fed gun. It's a $79 gun, but it's a $79 gun from Tippmann, so you know it's gonna work. And you know, your kid, your buddy from work, they're gonna want this gun because it's $79. And you can recommend it, and I can recommend it because it's gonna work. And they're gonna go play paintball with it, and it's gonna work, and then they're gonna have fun, and then they're gonna go back, which just means more and more people playing paintball, which is what we all want. So if you want the Cronus, if you want the tank, the harness, the remote, the mask, this hat, go to hustlepaintball.com. That's where you're gonna find all of your paintball gear. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's where you're gonna get all the new videos about all the new gear and, well, everything else that's going on at Hustle. Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, always read the blogs. We try to keep those as up to date as possible. And most importantly, last but not least, I don't have another phrase to throw in there, go to PB Riot. It's where we all hang out and talk about paintball stuff. So if you want to talk about paintball stuff, just chat in general, go to PB Riot. That's where we are. We tend to like it and have fun, so we think you will too. Thanks, guys. Have fun, and we'll see you soon.
Super tight in the snake, bro. Super tight. Yeah. Okay.